I'm Apollo Soul, and today I'm going to talk to you about my album, Reborn. So the meaning of Reborn is, actually it started out, it was supposed to be 18 songs long, and if you've listened to it, it's only 10. I was supposed to do a lot more with it, but when I announced the release date, I thought I had enough time. Life happened, I ran out of said time, so I had to trim it down from an 18-track album to a 10-track, so that also meant redoing some of like the thought process behind it, because it was supposed to start out as almost like a love album that turns into a personal battle album that then comes back to the love, but the love is now over because now you've focused too much on yourself to then it's very complex. It also is just supposed to be a very good summer album, so you're supposed to be able to listen to it in the morning and finish it at night. And the songs are supposed to go with the time of the day. And that's also with summer in itself. If you listen to the album all the way across the 3-month spectrum of summer, it also follows with that and what I did all summer. Next question. Yeah, the album is unfinished. Like I said, there were supposed to be 18 songs, and I just was not super confident with the last couple songs and trying to cram them in. I'm still not even 100% pleased with how the album turned out. I'm not entirely happy with everything. I rushed about the last, there's about 4 songs that made it on within the last night. And I recorded those all in the same night, and you can just tell that I was rushing through it. So I pretty much rushed through the album, and it wasn't something that I cared for, but I was also just done working on it. I started feeling better. There's a lot of mental battles, if you've noticed throughout the whole album. I've been mentally getting better, so I felt like it was just time to release it anyways. I could sit here and work on it for another couple months and give you a perfect album, but I'd rather just move on to the next one and go from there, because I don't even think Reborn wasn't the sound I was ultimately going for too. I think I was trying too hard, and it's already showing in some of the songs that I've started creating for the next project. They're just a lot more, I try too hard sometimes to be someone bigger than I am, but at the same time, I know the level that I stand at. I know what I can do, what my musical abilities are. So I tend to try to do every single effect that I can, writing the most crazy verses and the most catchy hooks, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. So I'm hoping with this next one, if I just calm it down a little bit, we'll move on, and I think we'll see how this next one comes out. But yeah, I'm really pumped for that one. The first song I made for Reborn was actually, it didn't actually make the album. It was called Same Way. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can go in like the little highlight things, and it says track making. And I'm actually making that track on there, but that one didn't actually make it. I didn't feel like it fit. And then I made Never With You, which obviously made it. I think it's track 4. I could be wrong. And then I made Waves. So that's the order that it went in. Waves was when I first made the beat and I did the vocal thing at the beginning. I knew that was going to be the opening song immediately. As soon as I did the I knew it was like a perfect like sunrise waking up kind of sound. So that was a lot of fun. Ooh, that's a tough question. My favorite track probably is, I'll give you 3, because they're all really up there. And that's Dope, Let the Time Go By, and Memory. Memory was by far the most personal one that I had ever made. Dope was, I think, just a really catchy song in terms of everything. It took a lot of vocal parts to get what I wanted. And Let the Time Go By is just a crazy song. The beat's crazy, the breakdown's crazy, the verses are crazy. I think Let the Time Go By is a great song. I'll probably be pushing that one in the upcoming months. If I had to compare anyone in the music industry to myself or myself to someone in the music industry, I really like Jon Bellion. Jon Bellion is someone that I discovered within the last year or so, and I've been infatuated with everything he does. So I probably would say I sound most like Jon Bellion at the moment. I don't get the comparison often because not a lot of people know who he is. I always get the MGK reference saying I look like MGK, but I haven't made like rap music like that in a while. So I haven't gotten the MGK reference in a while. Also, in terms of like production, I love Timbaland, so a lot of my beats I use a lot of drum patterns that he had used previously, but like just drum patterns. I use my own drums, and I always modify the drum patterns, but I think he has some of the grooviest beats ever. So Timbaland is a big inspiration. So fun fact is I actually work at a Starbucks behind all this music stuff. So I get really creative with the drinks that I have. This is an iced London Fog. It's just Earl Grey tea, some vanilla, whole milk, and then it gets like some cold foam on the top. But that melted, so here I am. In terms of like coffee, I actually don't really drink cups of coffee. I'm kind of past it. I've learned that there's way better flavors out there if you do espresso. So I love espresso. If you go to Starbucks and you get a venti Starbucks double shot on ice, that's what I get every day. I'm a huge fan of powerful coffee drinks. If I'm not drinking Starbucks, it's Red Bulls. So that's where I'm at. Yes, but I don't know how long. I want to do a very short like EP. It could be 420 next year. I would preferably like to release it on some weed holiday so that everyone can celebrate listening to my music. But there would definitely be some form of an EP in the form of weed songs. And I'm really pumped for it. I have a couple ideas in the back of my head, but that's not a priority right now. Priority is trying to do some shows, which that's not really going my way because I don't know at all what I'm doing. But yeah, and then after this year, I'm pretty much gonna change course a little bit. Because right now I have a schedule of releasing an album every season. I didn't really want to tell you guys that, but yeah, right now I'm releasing an album every season. So Scattered Thoughts Volume 1 was released in spring, and it was a very spring sounding album. Reborn was released in the summer. It's a very summer sounding album. The next one will be released in the fall, and there will be another one in the winter. So when 2019 hits, I'm gonna have a good discography of solo music, which I'm very excited for. So is that it? Is that all the questions you've got for me? Cool. Alright, well, that's all I got. You can follow me on Instagram at ApolloSoul_. I don't use Twitter, so don't even try to find me. You can follow me on YouTube, follow me on SoundCloud. You can find all my music on iTunes and Spotify, Tidal, wherever you listen to music, you can find it. Just search Apollo Soul. That's me. Thanks for listening to this little interview, I guess we'll call it. It's an interview. So yeah, take it easy, guys. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.